The sky turned dark over Seoul on a sunny Tuesday morning. Jin was walking to work when the shadows fell. He looked up and his mouth dropped open. Everyone around him stopped and stared. Giant ships hung in the air. They were black and shaped like curved blades. Each one was bigger than 10 buildings put together. There were 7 of them, spread out over the city. Jin pulled out his phone to take a picture, but it would not work. Neither would anyone else's phones. The ships were doing something to stop all signals. Army trucks rushed past, full of soldiers. Jets screamed overhead, but they kept their distance from the alien ships. No one fired a shot. Everyone just watched and waited. Jin worked as a language expert at Seoul National University. He knew 6 Earth languages and had written papers about how aliens might talk if they ever came to Earth. He never thought his work would matter so soon. His phone buzzed. It was working again, but only for one message. It was from the government. Jin Taewoo, come to City Hall right away. Your skills are needed. Jin ran through streets full of scared people. Some ran into buildings. Others just stood and stared up at the ships. No one knew what to do. At City Hall, soldiers took Jin inside. The main hall was full of important people, army leaders, scientists, and government officials. They all looked scared, but they were trying to hide it. Jin, thank you for coming, said General Park. The aliens sent us a message. We need someone who can figure out their language. Jin nodded. I'll try my best. They showed him a screen with strange symbols that moved and changed. They were not like any Earth writing. They sent this 10 minutes ago, said a scientist named Hana. Then they landed a small ship in the park outside. Jin studied the symbols. They seemed to follow patterns. I think they want to talk. These symbols here keep repeating. They might mean communication or meeting. A soldier burst into the room. Sir, the aliens are coming out of their ship. Everyone rushed to the windows. In the park, a door had opened in the side of a small black ship. Something was coming out. Jin gasped. The alien was huge, at least 8 feet tall. It had 4 arms and skin like dark blue armor. Its head had no hair, but rows of small horns. Its eyes were yellow with black slits. The alien carried no weapons. It walked slowly, showing empty hands. 3 more aliens followed it. They don't want to fight, Jin whispered. Not yet, anyway. General Park looked at Jin. We need someone to go out there. Someone who might understand them. Jin felt his heart beating fast. I'll go. They gave him a microphone and earpiece. Soldiers walked with him to the park entrance, then stopped. Jin had to go the rest of the way alone. The aliens watched him approach. Jin tried not to show fear. He stopped 10 feet away from them and bowed, as was Korean custom. The lead alien made a sound like rocks grinding together. Then, to everyone's shock, it spoke in broken English. We are Taeguk. We have come to know humans. Jin swallowed hard and answered, Welcome to Earth. I am Jin. The alien touched its chest with 2 of its 4 hands. I am Rock, commander of 7th Fleet. It looked around at the city, then back at Jin. Your world is now known to the stars. Everything will change. Jin nodded slowly. Yes, everything will change. The alien named Rock did something unexpected then. It lowered itself to one knee, bringing its massive head down to Jin's level. Its yellow eyes studied him closely. You do not run. You do not attack. Interesting. Perhaps humans are worthy after all. Jin met the alien's gaze. Worthy of what? Rock stood up again, towering over Jin. That remains to be seen. Behind them, more aliens emerged from the ship. The first contact between humanity and the Taeguk had begun, and Jin found himself at the center of it all. 3 weeks had passed since the Taeguk ships appeared in Earth's skies. The world had changed overnight. Humans now knew they were not alone in the universe. Jin sat across from Rock in a large meeting room. Around them, Human and Tagic officials talked in small groups. Jin had been named the official translator between the two species. "Your language is difficult," Rock said. His English was getting better each day. "So many words for things that need no words." Jin smiled. "Like what?" "Friend," Rock said. He made a clicking sound with his mouth. "Companion, ally, buddy, pal. Why so many words for the same thing?" "They don't all mean exactly the same thing," Jin explained. "Friends are different from allies." Rock tilted his massive head. "How?" Jin thought for a moment. "Allies work together for a common goal. Friends care about each other's happiness." Rock blinked his yellow eyes slowly. "Tagic have no word for this, friend. We have word for battle companion, for mate, for offspring, not for friend." Jin found this sad but interesting. "Maybe I can teach you about friendship." Rock stood up suddenly. He was so tall his head nearly touched the ceiling. "Come, I show you Tagic ship." Jin followed Rock out of the building. People stopped and stared as they walked by. Some looked afraid. Others took pictures. Jin felt strange walking next to the giant alien. At the park, they boarded a small ship that took them up to one of the massive Tagic warships hanging over the city. Jin's heart beat fast as they entered through a huge door. Inside, the ship was dark and warm. The walls looked like metal, but felt soft to touch. Tagic warriors moved around quickly on tasks. They all stopped to look at Jin. "No human has been here before," Rock said. "You are first." Jin felt proud but nervous. "Why me?" "You speak directly. No fear in your voice." Rock led Jin through wide hallways. "Other humans talk to us with shaking voices. You do not shake." Jin laughed. "I'm scared too. I just hide it well." Rock stopped walking. "You admit fear, openly." He sounded surprised. "Yes, everyone feels fear sometimes." Rock made a deep rumbling sound. Jin had learned this was Tagic laughter. Tagic warriors never admit fear. To show fear is weakness. To admit fear is death. They entered a large room with a table full of strange objects. "Food," Jin realized. "A Tagic meal." "I brought human food too," Rock said, pointing to familiar items on one end of the table. "We eat together. Learn more of each other." As they ate, Jin taught Rock about Korean culture. He explained about family, respect for elders, and the importance of harmony. Rock listened with great interest. "Your people value peace," Rock said. "Tagic value strength. We have conquered 17 star systems." Jin almost choked on his food. 17. "You conquer other planets." "Yes, the strong rule. The weak serve or die. This is way of universe." Rock said this as if stating a simple fact, like the color of the sky. "Not on Earth," Jin said carefully. "We believe all people have value." Rock made a dismissive gesture with one of his forearms. "Interesting belief. Not practical." Jin changed the subject. "Tell me about Tagic home world." Rock's yellow eyes seemed to soften. "Desert world. 3 suns, beautiful at night when all 3 set. I will show you someday." "I'd like that," Jin said, surprised by the offer. As they finished eating, Rock stood up. "Tomorrow, you teach me more about human friendship. I wish to understand this concept." Jin nodded. "And you'll teach me about Tagic culture." "Yes," Rock said, "though you may not like all you learn." Jin felt a chill at these words, but he also felt something else, the beginning of a connection with this alien warrior. Not yet friendship, but something that might grow into it. As he returned to Earth that evening, Jin wondered if he was the first human to start becoming friends with one of the fearsome Tagic. And he wondered what would happen when 2 such different worlds truly began to understand each other. Jin was walking with Rock through a busy market in Seoul. People moved out of their way quickly. After a month, humans were still not used to seeing the giant Tagic up close. "Your people still fear us," Rock said, watching a mother pull her child away. Can you blame them? You're twice our size with 4 arms, and your ships could destroy our cities. Jin stopped at a food stand and bought 2 cups of tea. Rock took the small cup carefully between 2 massive fingers. Fear is natural, but your people let fear control them. Taeguk children learn to control fear before they learn to speak. Jin was about to ask more when his phone rang. It was General Park. Jin, bring Commander Rock to headquarters now. Another alien ship has entered our atmosphere. Jin's heart jumped. Is it more Taeguk? No, General Park said. Something else. Hurry. Jin turned to Rock. We need to go. Another alien ship has come. Rock's yellow eyes narrowed. What kind of ship? I don't know. Rock made a low growling sound. There are many species who would come after us. Not all are friendly. At headquarters, screens showed a silver ship shaped like an egg. It was much smaller than the Taeguk warships, but still bigger than anything humans had built. They're called the Vorai, Rock said, looking at the ship. Traitors and diplomats. They appear peaceful but have sharp teeth behind their smiles. The Vorai ship sent a message. It appeared on the main screen as a series of symbols that changed into English words. Greetings, people of Earth. We are the Vorai, friends to all species. We come to warn you about the dangerous Taeguk in your skies. They are not visitors but invaders. We offer our protection. General Park looked at Rock. Is this true? Before Rock could answer, 3 Vorai appeared on the screen. They looked almost human, but with pale blue skin and large silver eyes. They wore flowing white robes. People of Earth, said the middle one. I am Kiv, ambassador of the Vorai Alliance. The Taeguk are conquerors who have destroyed many worlds. Do not trust them. Rock stepped forward. The Vorai lie. They want Earth's resources. They take with false words what we take with honest strength. Kiv smiled, showing teeth that were indeed very sharp. We challenge the Taeguk claim to Earth. By the laws of space, we demand a trial of dominion. Rock's body went rigid. We accept your challenge, Vorai. The screen went dark. The room burst into questions. What is a trial of dominion? General Park asked. Combat between our champions, Rock said. Winner claims right to deal with Earth. Jin stepped forward. Wait, Earth belongs to humans. We're not some prize to be fought over. Rock looked down at Jin. In the galaxy, the strong protect the weak until the weak become strong. Earth must have protectors until you can protect yourselves. And who decides if that should be you or the Vorai? Jin asked. The trial will decide, Rock said. 3 Taeguk champions against 3 Vorai champions. Combat to surrender or death. Jin couldn't believe what he was hearing. And humans had no say in this. You could fight too, Rock said. But your weapons are like children's toys compared to ours. You would die. General Park called an emergency meeting. As officials argued about what to do, Jin pulled Rock aside. You never mentioned this trial before. Is this why you came to Earth? To claim it. We came to study humans, Rock said. Your planet has value. Many species want it. And you just fight for whatever you want? Jin asked. Rock's yellow eyes locked onto Jin's. We fight without fear. The fearless always win. Everyone feels fear, Jin said. Taeguk do not, Rock replied. From birth, we are placed in danger. Those who show fear are removed from the breeding pool. Jin felt cold. You kill your own children for showing fear. Not kill. They become workers, not warriors. Rock placed one of his 4 hands on Jin's shoulder. But there is one thing even Taeguk warriors fear. What's that? Jin asked. A meaningless death. To die without purpose. Rock looked up at the sky. The Vorai have come. Now we must fight. It is the way of things. Jin watched Rock walk away, wondering if humans had jumped from one danger into something far worse. 1 week had passed since the Vorai challenge. The trial of dominion would happen in 15 days. Teguk warriors trained hard in their ships. The Vorai stayed in their egg-shaped vessel, sending messages to Earth leaders about Teguk cruelty. Jin had been working long hours, moving between human leaders, Teguk commanders, and Vorai diplomats. He felt tired all the time. This morning, as Jin walked to a meeting, he felt strange. His head hurt. His skin felt hot. By noon, he could barely stand. "Jin, you look terrible," said Hana, the scientist he worked with. "You need to see a doctor." Jin nodded weakly. After the meeting. But Jin never made it to the meeting. As he walked down the hallway, the world started to spin. Then everything went black. He woke up in a hospital bed. A doctor named Wu stood over him. "You have a high fever," Dr. Wu said. "We're running tests, but this doesn't look like any normal flu." Jin tried to sit up but couldn't. "I need to get back to work. The trial is in 2 weeks." "You're not going anywhere," Dr. Wu said firmly. "Your fever is 104 degrees. We need to get it down." The door burst open. Rock ducked to fit his massive body through the doorway. 2 Teguk guards followed him. "What is wrong with Jin?" Rock demanded. Dr. Wu stood his ground, even though Rock towered over him. "He's very sick. We're trying to find out why." Rock turned to his guards. "Bring Duri here now." The guards left quickly. Rock moved to Jin's bedside. "You will be well again," Rock said. It sounded like an order, not a hope. Jin tried to smile. "It's just a fever." An hour later, a female Teguk entered the room. She was smaller than Rock, but still over 7 feet tall. She carried a strange box with blinking lights. "This is Duri," Rock said, "our best medical scientist." Duri opened her box and took out tools Jin had never seen before. She ran them over his body without touching him. "His immune system is under attack," Duri said. "But I don't recognize the pathogen." Dr. Wu looked at her readings with wide eyes. "May I see your equipment?" Duri ignored him and spoke to Rock in the Teguk language. Jin had been learning it but was too weak to follow their fast conversation. He could tell Rock was upset. Rock turned to Dr. Wu. "Your best doctors. Bring them all. Now." "Commander, we can't just," Dr. Wu started. "Now," Rock roared, making everyone jump. Dr. Wu left quickly. Jin had never seen Rock so angry. "You shouldn't yell at our doctors," Jin said weakly. "They move too slowly," Rock said. "Your condition worsens by the hour." Jin was surprised by Rock's concern. "The trial is more important than one sick human." Rock leaned closer. "You will not die, Jin. I forbid it." Jin laughed, then coughed. "Even Teguk commanders can't order people not to die." More doctors came. More tests were run. Jin drifted in and out of sleep. His fever got worse. Through his haze, Jin heard arguing. Rock was speaking with another Teguk, a tall warrior with a scar across his face. "Commander Rock, you neglect your duties," the scarred Teguk said. "The trial approaches, and you spend days watching a weak human die." "Commander Sun, you forget your place," Rock growled. "The High Command questions your focus," Sun said. "One human is nothing. Leave him to his fate." "Get out," Rock said, his voice deadly quiet. After Sun left, Duri approached Rock. "Commander, there is something strange in Jin's blood tests, something I have not seen before." "Can you cure it?" Rock asked. "Not yet," Duri said, "but there is something else you should know." She lowered her voice. "Your blood chemistry has changed since coming to Earth. It shows signs of the old patterns." "What old patterns?" Rock asked. "The emotional patterns our ancestors had before the Great Purge, before we bred out weakness." Duri looked at Jin. "You have formed a soul bond with this human. That is why you cannot leave his side." Rock stood very still. "That is impossible." "Yet it has happened," Duri said. "You fear losing him." "Teguk fear nothing," Rock said automatically. Dury touched his arm with one of her 4 hands. "Not anymore, Commander. Not for you." Jin heard these words through his fever. He didn't understand all of it, but he knew something important had changed between him and the alien commander who refused to leave his side. 3 days had passed. Jin's fever still burned high. Doctors from around the world came to help, but no one knew what was making him sick. Rock had not left the hospital once. Dury worked day and night in a lab next to Jin's room. She tested his blood again and again. Meanwhile, other Taeguk grew angry at Rock's absence from their war preparations. This morning, 5 Taeguk commanders arrived at the hospital. Jin could hear them from his bed. "Commander Rock, you shame all Taeguk," one said. "The trial is in 10 days. Our warriors need their leader." "Find another leader," Rock said. "A high command has sent a direct order," another commander said. "Return to your ship now, or lose your rank forever." Jin tried to sit up. His whole body hurt, but he needed to see what was happening. Through the doorway, he saw Rock standing tall against the other Taeguk. "I will return when Jin is well," Rock said. "For a human," one commander asked with disgust. "Has your mind broken?" "Leave now," Rock growled. The other Taeguk left, but Jin knew this was not the end. He fell back onto his pillow, too weak to stay up. Later that day, Dury entered his room with excited steps. "Jin, I may have found something." In old Taeguk records, she set up a screen next to his bed. On it were strange symbols and pictures of primitive Taeguk. "What is this?" Jin asked, his voice barely a whisper. "Our history, before space travel, before the Great Purge." Dury touched the screen, showing more images. "Our ancestors were not like us. They had strong emotions. They made art. They had words for friendship, love, sadness." "What happened?" Jin asked. "Our world had 3 suns. Solar flares grew worse. Our atmosphere thinned. Resources became scarce." Dury showed images of fighting Taeguk. Wars broke out. Those who feared nothing, who could make hard choices without emotion, survived better. Jin began to understand. "You bred out emotions." "Yes. Over thousands of years, each generation kept only the fearless, the emotionless as warriors." Dury looked sad, which surprised Jin, but something was lost. "And now?" Jin asked. "Now some Taeguk who spend time with humans show signs of the old patterns returning." Dury showed brain scans on her screen. "This is Rock's brain before meeting you. This is now. See the difference?" Jin saw colored areas that had changed. "What does it mean?" "It means humans are awakening parts of us long dormant." Dury looked over her shoulder nervously. "Many Taeguk see this as a sickness, a weakness that must be cut out." The door opened and Rock entered. Dury quickly turned off her screen. "Any progress?" Rock asked. "I have a theory," Dury said. "Jin's illness may be affecting Taeguk too. Those who spend time with him." "In what way?" Rock asked. "Emotional changes, increased concern for others, reduced aggression." Dury spoke carefully, like the soul bonds of ancient times. Rock was quiet for a long moment. "Continue your research." After Dury left, Rock sat beside Jin's bed. "How do you feel?" "Like I've been hit by a truck," Jin said. "You should go. Prepare for the trial." "The trial is not important." Jin was shocked. "But you said it would decide Earth's fate." "Earth's fate concerns me less than yours now." Rock's yellow eyes looked troubled. "I do not understand what is happening to me." "Dury says you're changing. Feeling things Taeguk don't usually feel." "Yes, it is disturbing." Rock placed one of his 4 hands near Jin's. "I have fought in 100 battles. I have watched thousands die without feeling. Now the thought of one human dying fills me with..." He searched for the word. "Fear," Jin suggested. "Yes," Rock admitted. "Fear." Jin's door burst open. Commander Sun stood there with 4 armed Taeguk. "Commander Rock, By order of Tegak High Command, you are relieved of duty. You are declared emotionally compromised and unfit to lead. Rock stood up slowly. I accept my relief from duty, but I will not leave this place. Sun's eyes narrowed. Then you are a traitor to all Tegak. Perhaps, Rock said, I am becoming what Tegak once were, long ago. Jin watched with growing worry as the two massive aliens faced each other. He was too weak to help, but he knew that something important had begun, something that might change both their species forever. 4 days before the trial of Dominion, alarms rang throughout Seoul. Jin woke to the sound of explosions. His fever had dropped a little, but he was still very weak. Rock burst into the room. The Vorai have broken the peace. They attack. Jin tried to sit up. What? They can't do that. The trial hasn't happened yet. The Vorai are liars, Rock said. They never planned to honor the trial. They wanted only to delay us while they prepared their attack. The hospital shook as something exploded nearby. Doctors and nurses ran past the door, helping patients move to safer areas. Rock's communicator made a sound. He spoke into it in the Tegak language, his voice angry. When he finished, he looked at Jin with troubled eyes. What's happening? Jin asked. Tegak forces mobilized to defend against the Vorai, Rock said. But they follow standard protocol. What does that mean? They protect only strategic assets, military bases, government buildings, power plants. Rock looked out the window. This hospital is not considered strategic. More explosions sounded, closer now. Jin could see smoke rising from buildings a few blocks away. You should go, Jin said. Help your people fight. I have no people now, Rock said. I am declared traitor. Duri rushed into the room. Commander, Vorai forces are moving this way. They seem to be targeting this hospital specifically. Jin was confused. Why would they target a hospital? Because you are here, Duri said. They must know about the connection between you and Rock. They seek to use it against us. Rock moved to the window, watching the sky. Where are the Tegak defenders? There are none, Duri said. High Command has ordered all forces to protect strategic locations only. Rock made a sound Jin had never heard before, something between a growl and a cry. He turned to Duri. Bring any Tegak in this building to me. Now. Duri left quickly. Rock began moving medical equipment away from Jin's bed. What are you doing? Jin asked. Preparing to move you. We must get you to safety. The doctors say I'm too weak to move. You will die if you stay, Rock said simply. Minutes later, Duri returned with 3 Tegak scientists and 1 warrior. The warrior was young, with fewer horned ridges on his head. This is all? Rock asked. Yes, Commander, the young warrior said. I am tall. I serve in medical transport. These are science team members. Rock looked at the small group. The Vorai attack this hospital. Tegak High Command will not defend it. I stay to protect Jin and any humans here. You are not ordered to stay. You may leave. The young warrior, Tal, stood straighter. I stay, Commander. The 3 scientists looked at each other, then also stayed. One said, we have worked with human doctors. They have shown us kindness. Rock seemed surprised but pleased. Prepare defenses. Use whatever weapons you have. The hospital shook again. Outside, silver ships flew low over the city. Vorai attack vessels. They fired energy weapons at buildings below. A doctor ran into the room. We're evacuating all patients who can move, but many are too sick to transport. How many? Rock asked. At least 50, the doctor said, plus staff who won't leave them. Rock turned to his small group of Tegak. We defend this building and all inside it. Jin watched in amazement as the 5 Tegak began moving quickly, setting up defense positions. Duri worked with hospital staff to move patients to inner rooms. Why are you doing this? Jin asked Rock. You're risking your lives for strangers. Not strangers, Rock said. Your people, those you care for. But why does that matter to you? Rock looked at Jin with his yellow eyes. Because it matters to you. And you. He seemed to struggle for words. You matter to me. A massive explosion shook the building. Part of the ceiling collapsed in the hallway. Through the dust, Jin saw silver-suited figures entering the hospital. Vorai soldiers. Stay here, Rock said. He pulled out a weapon Jin had never seen before. I will return. As Rock left to face the Vorai, Jin realized something amazing had happened. The fearsome Taeguk, who conquered worlds without remorse, were now ready to die defending a human hospital. Because one human had become their friend. The sounds of fighting filled the hospital. Energy weapons fired. Things broke. People screamed. Jin could hear it all from his bed. His fever had dropped more, and his mind was clearer now. He pulled out the tubes connected to his arm and tried to stand. His legs felt weak, but they held him. A nurse ran into the room. You shouldn't be up. I need to help, Jin said. What's happening? The aliens are fighting in the lobby. The big blue ones are keeping the silver ones from coming upstairs. The nurse looked afraid but determined. I need to move you to a safer room. Jin shook his head. Take me downstairs. I need to see. That's crazy. You're still sick. Please, Jin said. I might be able to help. The nurse looked doubtful, but helped Jin walk to the service elevator. They went down to the first floor and stepped out into chaos. 4 Taeguk stood in the lobby, fighting against a dozen Vorai soldiers. The Vorai were smaller than the Taeguk, but moved very fast. They wore silver suits that seemed to shine and change color. Rock fought at the front, using 2 of his arms to fire a weapon and the other 2 to throw Vorai soldiers who got too close. Yum Tal stood beside him, bleeding from a wound but still fighting. Jin saw Duri helping injured humans move toward the back of the building. The other 2 Taeguk scientists used medical equipment as weapons. Jin called to Duri. She saw him and rushed over. You should not be here, she said. I need to talk to Rock, Jin said. The Vorai want me, right? Maybe I can stop this. Duri shook her head. Rock would never allow it. More Vorai soldiers entered through the broken doors. Rock and Tal were being pushed back. Suddenly, a deep sound filled the air. Everyone looked up. Through the broken ceiling, Jin could see a Taeguk warship hovering over the hospital. Reinforcements? Jin asked hopefully. No, Duri said. They come to stop us, not help us. Taeguk soldiers dropped from the ship into the lobby. They were led by Commander Sun. He surveyed the scene with cold eyes. Commander Rock and all who follow him are declared traitors, Sun announced. Surrender now. The fighting stopped. The Vorai backed away, confused by the new arrivals. Rock stood tall among the ruins of the lobby. We defend these humans because they cannot defend themselves. This is not treason. This is honor. Sun laughed. Honor. Defending weak creatures who offer nothing. The Taeguk High Command has studied your condition. You are infected with emotion. It will be purged. Jin stepped forward, supported by the nurse. Commander Sun, please listen. Something important is happening to the Taeguk who spend time with humans. Sun looked at Jin with disgust. The sickness speaks. It's not a sickness, Jin continued. Your people once had emotions. You bred them out because you thought they made you weak. But they don't. They make you stronger. Silence. Sun roared. Look at them, Jin said, pointing to Rock and the other Taeguk who had stayed to defend the hospital. 5 against many, yet they held this position. Why? Because they had something worth fighting for. Some of Sun's soldiers looked at each other, uncertain. You feel nothing when your fellow warriors die, Jin said to Sun. But these 5 feel everything. They fight harder because of it. Rock moved to Jin's side, supporting him as the nurse stepped back. The human speaks truth, Rock said. I have never fought so well as when I fought to protect, not to conquer. Sun raised his weapon. Enough. You will all be taken to the ship for judgment. No, said a voice from the back. Another Taeguk stepped forward from Sun's group. I will stand with Commander Rock. Then another stepped forward, and another. Sun looked around in shock as nearly half his force moved to stand with Rock. What is happening? Sun demanded. Duri spoke up. The change spreads, Commander Sun. Many Taeguk who have interacted with humans showed the same brain patterns. The old ways are returning. Jin watched in amazement as the Taeguk forces split before his eyes. An entire species was changing, dividing between those who clung to the emotionless warrior code and those who were rediscovering what their ancestors had lost. And it had all begun with one friendship between a human and a Taeguk who had thought he feared nothing. Commander Sun was not ready to give up. He raised his weapon and fired at Rock. Rock dodged, pulling Jin down with him as the energy blast hit the wall behind them. Take the human. Sun ordered his remaining loyal soldiers. If Rock is bonded with him, his death will break Rock's spirit. The hospital lobby erupted into chaos again. Taeguk fought Taeguk, while the Vorai tried to use the confusion to their advantage. Jin knew he needed to get away. He was too weak to run, but he had to try. Duri grabbed his arm. Come with me, she said. I know a safe place. They moved through a side door into a small office. Duri locked the door behind them. Jin sat heavily in a chair, his strength fading. Rock needs help, Jin said. Others will help him, Duri replied. You need to stay alive. You are the center of all this. Jin looked around the office. There was a computer and a phone. An idea came to him. Can you connect your communication device to this computer? He asked Duri. Yes, she said. Why? I want to send a message to all Taeguk. Jin's mind was racing. And to all humans too. Duri hooked her device to the computer. It's ready. Jin began typing. His fingers moved slowly, but his mind was clear. He wrote about what he had learned about the Taeguk, their history, how they had bred out emotions, and how contact with humans was bringing those emotions back. Will this work? Duri asked, watching him type. I don't know, Jin admitted, but I understand your people better now. And I think I know your weakness. Taeguk have no weaknesses, Duri said automatically, then smiled. Except, perhaps, friendship. Jin finished his message and looked at Duri. Can you send this to all Taeguk ships? And can we connect to Earth's broadcast systems too? Duri worked with the devices for several minutes. Yes, it is ready. Jin hit send. His words went out to every Taeguk on and above Earth, and to every human with a working screen or radio. He added a personal message at the end. Commander Sun, I know you can hear this. The Taeguk have always believed that to show fear is weakness. But I've learned that Rock fears losing me, his friend. And that fear hasn't made him weak. It's made him stronger than any Taeguk has been in thousands of years. True strength comes from having something to protect, not from feeling nothing when others die. The door burst open. Commander Sun stood there, his yellow eyes blazing with anger. You spread poison with your words, Sun said. Jin stood up on shaky legs. Not poison. Truth. Sun raised his weapon. Your death will end this confusion. It will only make it stronger, Jin said. Kill me, and every Taeguk who has started to feel emotions will turn against you. Sun hesitated. For the first time, Jin saw uncertainty in a Taeguk's eyes. The building shook. Outside, Taeguk ships were firing on the Vorai vessels. Something was happening. Rock appeared behind Sun. He was wounded but still strong. Lower your weapon, Sun, Rock said. The High Command will never accept this change, Sun said. We will become weak, like these humans. Are humans really weak? Rock asked. They feel everything we trained ourselves not to feel. Yet they build, they create, they care for each other. They find strength in the very things we abandoned. Sun's weapon wavered. I don't understand what is happening to me. "You're beginning to feel," Jin said gently. "It's confusing at first, but it's not weakness." More Tagic appeared in the hallway behind Rock. They were watching, waiting. "Make your choice, son," Rock said. "Fight with us to protect this world, or fight against us to keep the Tagic as they have been, fearless, but empty." Sun lowered his weapon slowly. "I will consider your words." It wasn't surrender, but it was a start. Jin looked from Sun to Rock, then to the Tagic gathered in the hallway. Something historic was happening. A species was remembering what it meant to care. Outside, the battle against the Vorai continued. But inside the hospital, a different kind of victory had already been won. 1 month after the Battle of Seoul, Jin stood on a hill overlooking the city. The damage from the Vorai attack was still visible, but repairs were underway. Tagic and humans worked side by side to rebuild. Jin's health had returned fully. Duri had finally found the cause of his illness, a rare reaction to Tagic pheromones. She had created a treatment that worked, and Jin felt stronger than ever. Rock walked up the hill to join him. The Tagic commander wore new armor with a symbol Jin had designed, a human hand and a Tagic hand clasped together. "The Vorai have left our solar system," Rock said. "Our scouts report they will not return." Jin nodded. "Good. How are things with the High Command?" Rock made a rumbling sound that Jin now recognized as a laugh. "They are adjusting. 1/3 of all Tagic now shows signs of emotional awakening. Too many to punish or remove." "And Sun?" Jin asked. "Commander Sun leads the study of what is happening to us." He felt curiosity. Rock seemed pleased, a feeling he had not known before. Below them, a transport ship landed in a field. A group of Tagic exited, looking around with interest. They were smaller than the warriors, with lighter-colored skin. "The first civilian Tagic to visit Earth," Rock explained. "Scientists, artists, historians. Things our society nearly forgot." Jin smiled. The beginning of a real cultural exchange. "Yes," Rock's yellow eyes looked out over the horizon. "Jin, there is something I must tell you." "What is it?" "The Tagic are divided now. Those who embrace the change, and those who fear it." Rock turned to face Jin. "Some wish to return to the old ways. They have taken ships and left." Jin felt a chill. "Will there be war between you?" "Perhaps. Someday." Rock placed one of his 4 hands on Jin's shoulder. "But we who remain have learned something important from humans." "What's that?" "That there is strength in feeling, in caring." Rock looked down at the city. "We feared nothing in the universe, except what we discovered here." "Friendship," Jin said. "Yes, the fear of losing those we care about." Rock's voice grew serious. "It is a terrible fear, worse than fear of death or pain. Yet it makes us fight harder, think more clearly, become more than we were." A group of human children ran past them, laughing. Following them were 2 young Tagic, moving carefully to avoid hurting the smaller humans. They were playing together. Jin watched them with wonder. "I never thought I'd see that." "Nor did I," Rock said. "My entire life was conquest, battle, duty. Now I think of other things. Building, learning, protecting." "What will you do now?" Jin asked. "I have been named Ambassador to Earth," Rock said proudly. "The first in Tagic history. Usually, we do not bother with ambassadors. We simply take what we want." Jin laughed. "And now?" "Now we ask. We trade. We learn." Rock made a gesture toward the sky. "And we prepare." "For what?" "The galaxy is vast and filled with many species. Some, like the Vorai, are dangerous." Rock's expression grew determined. "Humans and Tagic together will be stronger than either alone." Jin looked at his friend. The massive alien warrior who had entered his life like a storm now stood beside him as a trusted ally. More than that, a friend who had risked everything to save him. "You know," Jin said, "on Earth we have a saying. The strongest people are not those who show strength in front of us, but those who win battles we know nothing about. Wise words, Rock said. I used to think the Taeguk were strong because you feared nothing, Jin continued. Now I know you're strong because you've learned what's worth fearing for. Rock nodded slowly. The fear of losing a friend made me find parts of myself I never knew existed. Below them, human and Taeguk children played together in the afternoon sun. Above them, ships from both species patrolled the skies, guarding the world they now shared. The beasts who had feared nothing had found something worth being afraid to lose, and in that fear, they had found a greater strength than they had ever known before. ***, the end ***.